I went to film school. I studied filmmaking, biology, ecology, botany, environmental history, and entomology because I always knew what I wanted to do. And my first film took place in Japan. It was called Beetle Queen Conquers Tokyo, and it's about the Japanese love of insects. One of the things that I did when I went to university was I started working at the Natural History Museum in New York, the American Museum of Natural History. And I worked, initially I worked in the video department, and then I moved into the live animal department, and I take care of live animals there. I still have that job. But I also spent time in the butterfly vivarium, which is this very small enclosed space where we have live butterflies that fly around, and people can come in. We get a couple thousand visitors a day. And it's pretty fascinating to be able to watch people interact with animals on such a close scale. So that was actually a big influence in my work. I went from just wanting to make science documentaries to actually wanting to make what I call ethnobiological documentaries, films about humans and the way that they respond to the natural world. Because getting to see people in the vivarium was such a strangely magical experience. You know, you watch, the vivarium is all glass, so you can watch people on the outside, and then they come in and it's really, really hot in the vivarium. It's very humid. So it's an instantaneous change. It's fully lit, you know, with full spectrum lights, and outside is really dark. So you walk, you know, you can see people walking down this dark hallway, they're arguing, they're on their cell phones, they're, you know, dealing with their kids who are throwing tantrums, they're doing all this stuff, and then they hit that wall of heat and light. And when they come through those double doors, and things sort of just change. They shift really quickly. And granted, most Americans don't like bugs, and most Americans don't really care about having any sort of real experiences, because for them it's all about Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and taking photos and making sure everybody else knows they're having an experience. But every once in a while you get people that really understand what it's like to be in this room with these butterflies that come from all around the world and have an experience up close and personal with them in a way that you couldn't possibly in nature. And when those people come into the vivarium, I'd say there are probably a couple dozen a day, you get to sort of watch the tedium of their lives fall away from them. You sort of get to, it's like watching snow melt in fast motion. You sort of just get to watch them, their moods change, just their whole rhythm changes. And I don't know, that was an amazing experience to get to watch over and over again. And it really made me want to make films that accomplish that same thing, that sort of same melting away of all of these weird social structures that we build around ourselves, email and all the ways that we communicate and surround ourselves with things that we pretend like are really important and sometimes aren't. Most of the times aren't, I'd like to think.